morning. Meteorologist Lisa Green here with a look at what we can expect as we head into what's going to be a fabulous fall weekend. I think so, at least. I know a lot of folks want that fall weather, classic fall weather to be here. But don't worry, it'll come soon enough. But for summer lovers, it's nice to hang on a little bit longer to these warmer temperatures. And we did get a little taste of fall this morning. We cooled down significantly. Look at some of our morning lows where we started out at. In the Northern Valley, Northeast especially, we saw a low as 35 in Baudette this morning, 36 in Roseau and in Bemidji. So Northeast saw our temperatures cool down quite a bit as our wind eased up. Not that we had a whole lot to begin with, and that air settled and cooled down. And then Cavalier and Grafton got down to 39 degrees overnight as well. So it was a cool morning. Fargo 41, 40 in Grand Forks, and then we stayed mild over into Lakes Country into the low to mid 50s there. So again, a cool start, a little taste of fall, but we are certainly going to be experiencing some summertime here in the forecast coming up for today and beyond. Let's take a look at a couple of DOT cams. Grand Forks, East Grand Forks. This is our view from the Greenway on the East Grand Forks side. You can see downtown there and the Red River, looking like a beautiful day along the river here this morning, and starting to see some of those trees changing color as well. We'll zoom in a little more on some of these. Still pretty green, but there is some color starting to show there. And then in the Southern Valley, Fargo-Moorhead and along I-94, visibility is looking pretty good. A lot of folks hitting the road for your weekend destinations. One thing to be aware of is that it's going to get a little breezier, so some of your high-profile vehicles, you'll feel it a little bit more today. Not intense wind, but still something to note. And this is a camera we've been watching all week because of the fog that we've experienced in the morning hours all the way through Wednesday. Yesterday we got a break from it, some relief, and today as well has been nice to see a lot more on our sky cams. Looking at our temperatures, we're in the 50s and 60s this morning. 57 in Grand Forks, 61 in Grafton. We've recovered nicely in the Northeast. We're at 63 degrees in Roseau, and in Waskish we're at 63 and 58 in Devil's Lake. And in the Southern Valley, we're starting to heat up a little more in places like Oaks at 68 degrees. That's one of our warm spots, our warmest spot it looks like here this morning. 66 in Wahpeton, Fergus Falls, and in Elbow Lake. Fargo checking in at 63, and Moorhead a few degrees warmer at 66 degrees. So mild morning. We've got quiet conditions here on our radar and satellite map, looking really quiet right now, but notice what we've got over here, a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of green on the map up by Williston. So let's show you what we've got going on. So what's happening is we've been talking about this all week, mostly because we really haven't had much else to talk about aside from the fog. It's been so quiet, but there's a low that's going to pass by well to our north. And with it, it's got a front draped through it. Now, we're going to see some warm air pushing in ahead of this, and then the cold front will sweep through. So I've just simplified it just to show the cold front for you here, because that's going to be the big difference maker as we go through the day. But right along the front, that's where we're going to see more clouds, a few moments of clouds here for tonight, and there is that possibility of seeing a shower or two along the front as well. It may dip just far enough south to affect some of our communities along the border area for later on today. So let's take a look at our wind speeds. We've got wind already picking up, coming in out of the southeast or out of the south. We've got some gusts into the 20s, Langdon, Devil's Lake into some mid-20s, Hallock in that range as well. And that wind will be a factor for us continuing on into the day as that front sweeps through. And just looking farther afield, you can see up by Regina and Saskatchewan, we do have a gust there to 40 miles per hour. That's a little farther north. The gusts are going to be a little stronger, closer to the low, but something for our northern communities to watch out for as we continue on through the day. So taking a look at our hour-by-hour planner, we're looking pretty good here this morning. We've got temperatures that are, again, warming up here as we go through the day. We've got conditions that are going to be on the sunny side as we go through the day. The wind will continue to be a factor. So again, not much to show you here through the morning hours, but as we work our way through the course of the afternoon, you can see some clouds associated with that front. Can also expect to see some conditions that are going to be on the maybe rainy side along the international border. This is 8 p.m. tonight, so this could affect some football games, especially if we see development a little sooner than that as it's moving into the North Dakota side. But if you're in Minnesota, you're more likely to see that potential for a shower or maybe even a thunder shower into the late night hours tonight. This is 11 p.m., so you can see that's going on at that point, and it's sweeping through places like Baudette, Lake of the Woods, moving into the Red Lake area too. And then the rest of us, quiet as can be. So just more on that breezy side. And notice how that wind changes directions behind the front. We'll see winds more out of the north and gusting into the 20s. And once that clears, we quiet down for the morning hours tomorrow. Let's take a look at our homecoming events going on for NDSU. Today, some of the events have already started, and we've had some pretty good weather for them. Again, temperatures into the low 60s this morning. As we work our way into the afternoon, the Bison Bash will be happening around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and that's when we top off with temperatures into the low 80s. Again, 80s returning today for places like Fargo. So if you're heading out to those events, make sure you're ready for the warmth. Be ready with some sunscreen and some sunglasses, and just know that it's going to be a little breezy too. And then heading into homecoming for tonight, we're looking at temperatures starting to dip, but still very warm for your homecoming parade at 6 o'clock this evening. And maybe you're heading out to a high school football game tonight. So here's your Friday night forecast. We're looking at some really good weather again for most areas. We're going to be seeing temperatures starting off more in the 70s around kickoff tonight, and then into the later evening hours, more into the 60s by the time the game's over. So the call on the field is it's good weather here for us as we are looking ahead for tonight. Just keep in mind that potential for an isolated shower or thunder shower near the border areas this evening. So let's move ahead to tomorrow. Of course, homecoming weekend for NDSU, so we're going to check on that tailgate and expect to have some cooler weather in the morning hours. We're looking at temperatures when tailgating starts bright and early at 7:30 in the morning. Sunrise, by the way, is at 7:20 today, so it'll probably be about a minute later tomorrow. And so, you'll have that sun up at that point in time, and that's going to start warming us up. But usually our temperatures are coolest a little bit after sunrise. There's a lag time as the sun is up. It takes a minute for that warming to really translate to our temperatures. So it is going to be cool. We're going to be right around 50 degrees, maybe even some upper 40s potentially if we get cool enough. So you may want to have that sweatshirt when we start tailgate, and then heading into the Fargo Dome at 1 o'clock for kickoff. Temperatures around that point will be around 70 degrees. So not as warm as today, but still really pleasant with some sunshine and not as much wind as well. Just looks like a really good time for tailgating. And this is also a big weekend for leaf peeping. The fall colors are really changing over in a hurry in places. A little earlier this year, but I'm hearing they're pretty vibrant in a lot of spots, and we're seeing more of your photos coming in as well. And so if you want to head out and do some of that this weekend, Saturday looks fantastic, low to mid 70s. And then for Sunday, we're looking at temperatures that heat right back up, getting back into that 80-degree range for Sunday. So it's going to feel a little more like summertime while you're out taking in those fall colors. And let's check in on our latest Minnesota fall foliage report from the DNR. We've got a lot of places in northern Minnesota in our viewing area that are in that near peak range this weekend, including places like Itasca State Park. So now's the time this weekend, heading into this week, and continuing on into next weekend as well in some of these areas to really start getting out and taking in that color. Orange means 50 to 75% of peak color. So again, getting into more near peak, but not quite at peak just yet as we work our way into the weekend. And as always, we want to see your photos. You can upload those to the VNL Weather app. Right at the bottom of your screen, you can select that submit button. It's nice and easy from the home page. Or you can head to valleynewslive.com, and in the menu on the left-hand side of the screen, there's a line that says submit your photos and videos. So you can do that right there too as well. But just beautiful shots that we've been seeing lately, and it's been incredible because it's been so quiet wind-wise as well, leading up to today. Of course, we're going to get breezy today. But the water has been so calm on our area lakes, and so we're getting a lot of these beautiful reflection photos coming in from those colors changing over and the quiet mornings especially. A lot of good photos. So we appreciate those. Thank you, Carrie, for sharing this photo from the Bay Lake area, and I'm looking forward to getting more after everybody gets out this weekend to take in the fall colors. So here's a look at our planner here for today. We're going to see temperatures that rise into the 70s to low 80s. We'll most likely see 80 degrees in southeastern North Dakota, with a shower possible again along the international border that we just went over. And then Saturday and Sunday again looking really nice, comfortable temperatures for Saturday, heating up into summertime again for Sunday. And check this out, we're looking at multiple days in a row where we could see 80 degrees or more. Our warmest day may end up being on Monday, getting more into the mid 80s for highs, and then continuing on into the end of September and transitioning into October, we keep that 80-degree temperature around. And it's going to be a bit breezy, but just beautiful out there with those kind of numbers. Be ready for that warmth. Once we get into Thursday, Wednesday night and into Thursday, you can see there's a little rain cloud here, and we do have a chance for a few showers passing through. I'm not looking at a big round of rain. It's not going to be heavy. At least it looks like right now. Right now it looks more scattered, light rain showers kind of weather, but still that will move through Thursday and into Friday. And then working our way into next weekend, that first full weekend of October, kind of getting back to reality a little bit more, but staying mild. Will be near 70 both days heading into next weekend and keeping things fairly quiet. So basically, the pattern, the fall kind of calm, warm weather pattern continues. It started up with our fall equinox, our first day of fall on Monday, and we're just rolling into fall with some really nice numbers here. And quiet weather too. That's been nice as well to kind of recover from that heavier rain we saw last week. So we'll keep that going with just a couple of shots for rain here in the forecast. So if you've got plans this weekend, heading out to homecoming, things are looking really good for you. And if you're heading out to any other events, heading out to the market, going out to see some fall colors, I hear Moorhead Sausage Fest is happening this weekend, all sorts of fun events going on. It's really looking good for all of those things. Just might want those layers in the morning hours when it's a little bit cooler. So get out and enjoy this beautiful weather, and we'll have more updates on what's going on with the forecast, especially if you're concerned about the rain in the north. You can check back with us on Valley News Live tonight. Of course, we'll have another update this afternoon right here on Valley News Now on the conditions that we expect to see. And you can always check for the latest weather and the radar right on the VNL weather app. Have a great weekend.